let's go to baseball. And this is one of my favorite positions on the field, if not my most favorite. What are we talking about? Let's talk about the relief pitcher, the closer, the ninth inning. So let's absolutely go ahead and get that squared away as well. The first one on the list is going to surprise some people here as well. I'm getting it pulled up here. But it is interesting to see. I do want to take a second here while I'm pulling it up, like the devaluing of pitchers in some instances where it's in a lot of places they're not valuing the pitcher as much as they once were the relief pitcher. I think you look at the Guardians especially, and they are a team for sure that the reason why they are as high as they are is because of the pitching. And why are you not pulling up here? Did it go corrupt on me real quick? Change the subject to go lose your mind. You know, I gave 28 years. I used to both my legs to this city. Loved nearly every single minute of it. Oh, come on, God. Pulling it up now here. One more second. Monday morning, I'm submitting my resignation to the city council. I want you to be the first to know. All I ask is that you respect my decision. A few more seconds getting that slide up here. All right, so let's do this here while I'm pulling that up still. Let's go to this segment here. Saving it for the end, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now where I'm getting a chance to pull up that slide here. Hopefully, we get to do that. So let's do the roster predictions, because I know I have that one up. So I had so many. I can only pull up so many at a time. So 26-man roster predictions. Last year, not real confident with it. Not at all. Not real confident with the 26-man roster predictions for the Orioles. This year, much, much, much more confident in that. I think a lot of the die has been cast in this as well. So definitely, I think what we're going to see here is what we're going to see on the field when the season starts next Thursday. As well. Adley Rutschman for the Orioles, I think he's still I'm saying he's still the best catcher in all of baseball. I definitely think that's absolutely could be true here for Adley. Definitely, I think he's one of the best catchers in all of baseball. Gary Sanchez is on the roster as well for the Orioles. Gary Sanchez is on the roster for the Orioles. Not a good offensive player, but not a good defensive player, but good offensively. I think that we're looking for a little tick up offensively as well. For that, I don't know how much he's going to play. I'm going to assume he's going to play as much as Justin McCann. He's going to be your Sunday afternoon catcher. I don't know what they're going to do with Adley. Interestingly enough, are they going to rest him more? I think some of his issue was he couldn't. Some of his issue was he couldn't play on. He was playing too much. He was DHing, and then he was playing too much. And I think he was a little tired. Ryan Mountcastle, Ryan O'Hearn, Mountie, I think they didn't trade him. I think he's going to start. I think he's going to get the bulk of the reps. We know Ryan O'Hearn good against right-handers. I think that is going to go there. Jackson Holliday, I do think is going to be your second baseman. I think he's looked decent enough this spring. They're going to give him every opportunity. They may yank him in and out with Urias. They're very non-committal, this Orioles roster, but I think you're going to go ahead and see that Westy is going to start at third base. Yamon Reeves, I think, will back him up. I think he'll be a backup at second, too. I think you'll see him there. Urias, I think, has lasted as well. You will see Mateo at some point. You're not going to see him at the start. I think he's going to be on the injured list, even though he did play in spring training. I think he might be a little bit ahead of schedule. So good for Jorge. And I think Gunnar Henderson, only question is he going to be the MVP of the entire league at shortstop? He's going to play 150 plus games unless there's an injury of some kind. Tyler O'Neill, Roman Laranado, I think I'm pronouncing that right. O'Neill, I think, is going to play in left like he did in Boston. So as well. So both of these guys are free agent additions. I think O'Neill's he's gonna rock out. He's gonna play every day. Laranado, I think he's gonna be your fourth outfielder. Interesting to see what happens to his roster spot though. Laranado with Mateo comes back. Mullins, I think, is gonna be the same role. Excellent defense. Playing higher, hitting higher in the order, I think, is spring training. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's see. I think maybe they'd like to get him back to number one, but I've seen basically the same as well. Colton Cowser and Hurstad, I think, are at the top of the order here as well. I think Cowser, I think, is in the number one spot there. I think Cowser, I think, is going to be, can he make the next step getting to the all-star level as well? And, of course, the slide went down. Goodness gracious. Cowser, I think, is in the number one position. Cowser, I think, I'm going to get it out. Cowser, I think, is in the number one position for the Orioles as well. And Heston Kjerstad is going to be in the number two Orioles position. I don't think Kjerstad is going to play as much as maybe they are saying here. So it'll be interesting to see how that is. It looks like my slides are gone. Yeah, all the slides are gone. All right, so let's do it without the slides. Improvise in the last few minutes here. So out there in the starting pitching, okay, so we got that. So we got all the positions down. The starting pitching for the Orioles as well. So without the slides, we got Zach Eflin. I think Zach Eflin has been named the opening day starter. No question that Eflin is going to go ahead and be the number one guy there for the Orioles. They're going to need him. I don't think you're going to have Grayson. Grayson isn't on here as well. They're not going to have him. Charlie Morton, Dean Kramer, Tomiuchi Sagano, Kate Povich. Povich, I think, has had a good spring. I think Povich was behind Suarez in the rotation, but I think Povich has had a good spring. He's absolutely earned his spot there as the guy in the rotation here as well. 8 pitchers, I think. Felix Bautista, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Yadier Cano, Kaleno Perez, Keegan Aiken, Greg Soto, and Albert Suarez, Brian Baker. That's etched in stone. I would be shocked unless there's another move that they bring in anybody else there as well. I don't think unless there is some Michael Elias magic of some kind that they are going to bring in anybody else to compete for those positions there as well. All right. So there you go. I will go ahead and go over this real quick. I'm going to just go over the top 10 here. It will be available on Twitter since we had a little bit of a tech. I don't know what happened to the slides where they wouldn't, for whatever reason, they wouldn't go up. But the top 10 will be on Twitter, but I will go over them here as well. Kobe Mayo optioned to Norfolk. A lot of fans were upset about the way he reacted. Kobe Mayo, the way he reacted as far as when he got sent down. I don't know why anybody's upset. I don't know how happy you want a player to be after getting sent to Norfolk. Cade Povich, great spring. I think that cemented him in the 5th starter rotation. I think he probably was behind Now he's not. I think that he's gonna get every opportunity to be the fifth starter. A non-Russian, Sam Basayo, one of the top prospects in baseball. Daz Kramer, Nick Gordon, Corbin Martin, Thaddeus Ward, Levi Stout, all sent to minor league camp. No big surprise there, in my opinion. That happened as well. Oh, real quick, and let's do the top 10 relievers in baseball as well. Sans our slides. Here, number 10, Cade Smith from the Guardians. I think Cade Smith is there. I think probably he'd be closer on any other team other than the team he's on. I think that's the only reason he is, because Emmanuel Clase is there. Number 9, Ryan Helsey of the Reds. Helsey, I think, is one of the reasons why the Reds are in a good position to win their division this year. I don't think they win the division, but Halsey, I think, just throws blue smoke. Devin Williams, number 8 from the Yankees. I think Williams, going to a better team is convincing me. Got hurt last year, but pitched very well at the end. Edwin Diaz, number 7 for the Mets. Got the best closer entrance, I think, in all of baseball. Definitely, I don't care if you're not a Mets fan, definitely check out the Edwin Diaz closer entrance. He started to look like himself. He actually got taken out of the role. They're paying him a lot of money. He actually kind of found himself again. A couple years ago, he had at 1 or 2. I have him at 7. Andres Munoz for the Mariners at 8. Mariners have outstanding pitching. Bullpen not great, but he's going to get a lot of opportunities with that great rotation that they have. Munoz, I think I have him at 7 as well. Number 5 is not Mason Miller. Number 5, I'm sorry, Raisel Iglesias of the Braves. I think this guy is really consistent over a long period. I really think that this guy is one of the better pitchers as well. So good, so long with the Angels. Even last year, a lot of the Braves had down years. I thought he was fantastic. Number 4 is Mason Miller for the Oakland Athletics. Sacramento Athletics. Very impressive, Mason Miller. Throws smoke, big, tall, long, throws very hard. I thought, look, the A's are getting better. I think one of the reasons why they decided not to trade him, this guy definitely is a focal point for him. Number 3, the Mount, Felix Bautista. I thought you could probably put him at number 1 a couple years ago. See how he reacts to Tommy John. He's looked very good at the end of camp. A little bit of a concern that maybe he wouldn't start. Definitely hit 3. He's back on his game. He's great. He's topping out at 98, looking really good. Number 2 is Josh Hader. Yeah, I know. Hader not as good last year. Josh Hader struggled a little bit more in last year than he previously had. And number 1 is Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians. I think this guy's fantastic. His ERA was microscopic, not even a 1. I think the Guardians bullpen could take him very far this year, having Cade Smith, 2 top 10 guys in the bullpen as well. Seawald,